Alright, so the first thing I'm going to show you is like the most high percentage shot. That's the sweep single. So what you want to do is when you come out and you tie up, you want to get high up on his arm. So you want to try and get almost like in his armpit, just cut over the top. What we don't want to do is we don't want to get ear to ear because that puts that guy that much closer to us. So what we want to do is we want to stay head to head. And on the other side, what we want to do is we're going to have this thumb turned down. So we're kind of blocking like this. This is called a V block. So what I want to do is I want to be able to push here with this hand, with my thumb down, and I'll be able to pull on this side. So what I'm going to do is, as I come to my tie-up, and it has to happen like right away. I can't like go like that and then like wait a couple seconds and let him adjust. Once I get my inside tie and my V block, I have to post right away to turn his shoulders. And what I'll do is I'll get a little bit of reaction back. His shoulder will come towards me, so what I can do is, I have my feet already in my sweep position. All I'm going to do is I'm going to just quickly pull this in as I attack this other leg. This hand is going to come around to the outside, and I'm going to pull this shoulder towards me. So look at it from this angle. So I'm in my stance. I got my staggered step. I come out, I get my inside tie. Once I have the inside tie, V block, post. And I'm going to use my stomach muscles really quick to bend down and get to that leg. So and if I did it quick enough, I might be able to get him on his back. So I might be able to get this. Sweep and pull, and he winds up on his back. That's the best case scenario. Of course, that's not going to happen all the time. Maybe 1 out of 10 times you'll get that. But what you will get is a good sweep single. And it's good for a beginner guy because you're teaching him to get an angle on the guy. So if you hit it right, you're not really in danger. V block, turn his shoulder comes back. I'm already in position. I just take a little step, pull his shoulder, and then attack his leg. Now, obviously on a better guy, you're not going to get him on his back by pulling that. So I'm going to let this go, and what's going to happen is, I should be in this position, and I want to lock my hands like this. The outside hand is up, the inside hand is on the bottom. I lock my hands like this, so he can't attack my grip. Then what I want to do is I have my head position pushing his body away from me, because I want to keep his arms as far away from me as possible. So I'm using my head to push him away, so his arms he can't get a good tight whizzer on me. And what I want to do is just come up to my feet, and I should be in good position. Okay. And if I get to this position, then it's it's run the pipe. Throw my shoulder in, take a step back, and just sit him on his butt like that. Okay? So that's if I pick the leg up. But what's probably going to happen is, he's going to get a good whizzer on me. So we're going to wind up down on the mat, on our knees. And he's going to have a good whizzer cracking me down. So what I want to do is, I want to take my hand, and this is important, my hand, and I want to turn my palm this way. So what that does, it helps my shoulder take the pressure off of the whizzer. And what I also want to do is, I want to get sideways. Okay? I want to go sideways like this. Keep the whizzer tight, Garrett. So, and that'll relieve the pressure too. And see how my hand is? My hand is like this. You're strongest with your hand like this. So it takes some of the pressure off the whizzer. Okay, crack my whizzer. Now what I want to do is, if I can lock my hands and drive into him, I might be able to get behind, grab his ankle, pull it out, limp arm out, and get behind. Okay? That's high percentage. Or I can get just far enough that I can get this leg, and I can just hold on to it, maybe step over it, and then I can just, instead of limp arming out, just pull my hand out far enough that I can attack the far leg and drive with my shoulders and come up behind that way. Okay? So that's sweep single. Right? So no matter where we are when he gets that whizzer, even if we're standing up and he's got a tight whizzer, I want to turn my shoulder. I want to turn sideways so it takes the pressure off the whizzer. If I do it hard enough, sometimes you may just fall down real easy by the trip. Okay, so once I've mastered the sweep single, now I want to practice what the inside step is. So I get like this, I have my inside control, I went for my sweep, and that leg goes back a little bit. So now what I want to do is, I want to do what's called an inside step. I step in between his feet, which is inside, my head goes into his chest, so he can't sprawl. So it's kind of like if I posted my hand on the guy's chest, and he tried to sprawl. See, you can't, because he can't get his chest back. So I'm using my head instead of my hand. Like some of the guys in Virginia used to teach me that, is that, you know, if I blocked with my hand and got to the leg, the guy couldn't fully fall backwards, right? So I'm going to use my head instead. So I got my good overhook tie. I hit half a sweep, that leg goes back. My head goes into his chest, and I'm now the same step, right? I step to the outside, now I'm stepping in between his legs, and I'm able to get his leg this way and keep walking forward and pulling it in. And that's the same thing. I want to turn my shoulder, have a good grip, shoulder in, sideways, and I just do a sit back. And just sit him on his butt. Okay, so those two things work together. Right. So, now, you want to teach the guy the double. So what happens is, sweep, inside step, my head comes to the outside. Once it comes to the outside, I got to keep good head position, put my ear on his back, and then I can change off to a double, and in a circular motion, pull him down and come behind. So you can put those two, three things together. Sweep, inside step, and if my head comes outside, I can finish with a nice double in that position. You know, however you want to teach them to finish it. And then I showed Doug this, and this is like a high percentage move too. What happens is sometimes, I get good control, but the guy gets my hand down, and he has control of my wrist. Okay? Doug even told me, that he got a lot of mileage at. Now it's the same thing. All I want to do is, I want to do like a duck under or a double on that side. So, my head is on the opposite side. I take a little bit of a step, so he starts to step towards me with that foot. And as he does, I put this one in my back pocket. So I take a step, he steps, I put this in my back pocket, and I'm like in a high crotch double position. Keep good head position, change off to a double, and just spin behind. So that's another high percentage one. And here's another thing to add to the sweep. Sometimes, when you get the inside control and you get the V-block, the guy gets wrist control on this side. And he's got my wrist, so I can't get the sweep. So what I can do is take the hand that's up on the shoulder, reach across, and grab his wrist. Okay? Pop it off. Then with my hand, once my hand comes free, these things all have to happen right away. I snap the top of his head down, and as he comes back up, now I can hold on to this wrist, I can get past him, and I can get into a nice sweep position again. Okay? Now, those are all the offensive moves. Last year we had this kid from Del Barton. I thought he was the pound for pound best wrestler in the state. And he was a two-time state champion. Now he's a senior. And what happened was, a guy from South Jersey just kept attacking him with sweep singles, inside steps. So he really couldn't get his offense going. And the kid from South Jersey wound up beating him because he kept relentlessly, attacking. So if you can really practice the sweep, the inside step, double, duck unders, you can overcome a better wrestler, but you got to be able to go from one thing to the other. So if you can